So XMR looks incredible. When you zoom out and you go to the monthly, I mean, you see, this is a beauty right here. And this is exactly what your favorite altcoins were meant to look like. If they don't look like this, just get away, guys. I do have a private Discord. If some of you guys are interested, feel free to join us. I charge about $200 for 6 months. I charge $350 for an entire year. So extremely affordable. I'm gonna put a link in the chat to any of you guys who is interested in my Discord. I'm gonna pin this. Look, hit the link, go to my Discord, send me a DM, and I will respond to you. You got to send me a DM. Once you send me a DM, I will respond to you. I gave a buy signal back in 2024, exactly around $190. And if you guys don't believe me, this is XMR I'm talking about. If you don't believe me, that's okay. I'll show you right now. XMR. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. That's because I want to make sure none of you guys think, the price is up. You're just making that up. Absolutely not, guys. Look, this is exactly what we do. It is. All right, it's right here. Look, I gave a buy signal exactly at 196, and this was in December 3rd of 2024. So it's right here. All right, don't think this is not something that I'm making up. So yeah, this was when the buy signal was giving out, and of course it's a lot of easier looking back because we had just broke above this monthly resistance. Like that to me was a big bullish confirmation. You look at performance ever since, you go from 190 whatever, you go from right here. I mean, we are currently up to almost 300%, well, 300% recently. So anyways, this is bullish right here. And every single pullback is an opportunity to add on to your position. So all you got to do with XMR, just go down to the lower time, probably the 15 minutes, and then just keep your eyes on these consolidate. You see consolidations like this? You want to be a buyer. Like right now, if I'm looking at XMR, guys, we are very close to a major support. So I will be honest right now, this is a good time to start a position. You start a position right here. Or you simply wait for your breakout confirmation. So put a trend line right here. You wait for a breakout, maybe price back around, like 220. And this is your entry. And then you're looking to take profits around, almost $800. This is already a 10% move. And you simply put your stop loss, just right below these lows right here. So like this is a 3%. This is a 3% loss, but you're going after a 10% move. To me, this is a trade that makes sense 100%. I would take a trade like this every single time. So this is exactly what you gotta do. Or you can go to the 1 hour. Even on the 1 hour, you can clearly see this is a major support. So chances are price is not going below $696. Chances are this pullback is most likely coming to an end, and then we will have a brand new move all the way up to higher targets. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. This is not the top of this move right here, guys. Look, this thing could potentially go way higher. Like if I'm looking at this monthly setup, right here, it wouldn't surprise me if we get 2-3 monster monthly candles. Like if we get 3 of these right here, guys, imagine 2 more of these right here. Like that can push the price all the way up in the $200,000-$300,000 range. And maybe we can even play with some Fibonacci extensions. So let's go from this low right here, push it to the top right here, guys. We come back right here. So we already hit the 161 Fib target of $772. So Our next target is $930. All right, $930. That is our next target. And then the one right after that, it gives you $1,000, $40. And then the one that comes after is, $1,100 basically. And then after that, you're looking at basically, I'm just gonna say $1,200. Okay, so $1,100 and $1,200. These are your next targets. So once again, if you go to the 15 minutes, I mean, think about the sound of this. You're looking at this and you go, I can jump in right here and just simply put my stop loss just right below 990, just right below, let's go with 995. Gives me about a 4% loss, a 2% loss actually. And if I'm right, profit wise, I'm looking now. This is a 30% move. Forget about look, we can go with the first one. There we go, right here. This is a 12% profit. This is 30%. This is 45. And then I think the next one, probably you're looking at 50% profits. Chat, this is how you trade, man. All right? Your loss is just 2%. All right? Just imagine, right? 2% of, whatever, right? How much are you trading with? Is it $1,000? Is it $500? But look at your profits. All right? So I just gave you guys trades, but this is not financial advice. You go ahead and do your own research, guys. So XMR looks incredibly bullish. Let's take a look at Dash. Dash also just broke out. Now this one, a major breakout is going to be once we get above, this $74 resistance. Now you may be wondering, what do you mean once we get above? And we already above 74? Yes, guys, we are above 74. But there's a difference between getting above 74 and closing above 74. So if this weekly close, if we can close this weekly above $74, I think that is a major, major accomplishment. And even if we go down to the daily, even if we can get today's daily candle above 74, I think that is also a major accomplishment. Very similar, okay? You go down to the 15 minutes. I can tell you right now, this is a bullish consolidation. Like, this is not bearish right here. So, simply put a trend line right here. If you can catch a breakout, jump into a position. If this is a rejection, so let's say we get rejected right here. If we get rejected right here and we get another pullback, right here you should be a buyer. Anywhere around $71, you should definitely be a buyer. I'm looking at 71. This is a major, major support. So let's say basically we do get rejected right here and then we get a pullback like this. You should, look, from $74, I think you should be a buyer. Right here, you want to be a buyer. And then, your stop loss, if you're jumping in right here, your stop loss could be just right below 71. This is almost a 5% loss. Or you wait for this breakout right here. Price might break out and then gives you a retest. But I don't think you should wait for a retest. If you jump in, just jump in. And then if it does pull back, it's perfectly fine. You are going to be bailed out. Whenever you have a monthly like this, this is fire, man. Let me show you the RSI. And look at the MAC. Oh, my God. Look at the MACD. Like, the MACD is just breaking above the zero line on the monthly. And then you look at monthly RSI. Monthly RSI is at 66 right now. Remember, overbought RSI is extremely, extremely bullish. The weekly RSI hasn't even, hasn't even hit the overbought territory where, price just goes crazy. You look at the weekly MACD, is giving you a buy signal. So, Dash is the major, major, major opportunity. So, these are the only two projects, speaking of altcoins that I can confidently say there is money to be made and you don't have to worry about, the long-term outlook of but you just don't have to worry as much. You just don't have to worry as much as, these other altcoins. XMR, Dash Coin. These are my two projects. These are the two projects that I can get behind. So those were really, really good setups, and hopefully I was helpful in that analysis. The last altcoin, before I take the ones that you guys are interested in, is Zcash. In my opinion, Zcash has already topped. So let's talk about that. This is a clear bear flag. This is a bear flag right here. And to me, yes, you may be looking at this. Oh, price has gone from $363 and we back in the mid $400 range. And you may be looking at this and thinking, holy smoke, man, this is bullish. Chat, in my opinion, this is a retest of this breakdown. All right, remember, more often, price, whenever you get a breakdown or a breakout, price comes back to, a retest wherever the area was. All right, so in this case, look, it wouldn't surprise me if we see the price of Zcash, somewhere around, guys, even $500 if we are going to be honest, because I'm looking at this yellow line, like it can put us all the way up around 500. But once you start getting around, 450, 460, I'm just looking at here, like this is a major resistance. Well, not a major resistance, but it is a resistance. Once you start getting around here, then this is a place where we could potentially get rejected. And also, this could be a, head and shoulders pattern. All right, if you want to look at it that way. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but I think it does to me. And then when you go to the 4 hour, all right, 4 hours retesting the 200 moving average. So look, this is a declining 200. So yeah, probably around here we are going to top. And then, we'll get the move back down into the, my prediction is that we're coming down here, guys, into this, low $200 range, higher $100 range. The only way I'm going to be invalidated, the price to me will have to break above $500 and $550. You break above 550, my bearish outlook will be invalidated, and that will be a Zcash that potentially goes back to to new all-time highs. But to me, yeah, this doesn't look good, man. Absolutely not. And then when you look at other stuff that I was looking at, I think I was looking at MACD. You look at weekly MACD. To me, this is already bearish. Look, weekly MACD recently gave us a sell signal. You look at the histogram. This is an indication of momentum. And whenever these bars or this histogram, goes from, it goes from like I don't know if this is dark. It goes from like super green to like a lighter green color. And then it goes to red, right? Once you get that, the vibes are over basically. So I'm looking at this. To me, the signs are just right in front of you. The signs are just right in front of you. Either you take them serious, or you do whatever that you think is the right thing to do. So yeah, those are the three altcoins that I wanted to talk about today: Zcash, XMR, and Dash. The two of them are extremely bullish. The other one is bull market is over, and this is the beginning of a major breakdown.